The 2020 NFL season, the regular season has concluded, and so we take a look back at some of the amazing performances of all these players to the offensive side of the ball. This is our Pro Football Network All-Pro team here on the offensive side. Ian, obviously, let's waste no time here. We're going to start with the most important position in the National Football League. That's quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers comes in at the top of our list. Obviously, I think a unanimous MVP-type season for him. It should be at least, but what were your thoughts on Rodgers' play in 2020?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he played out of his mind. This is a guy came into the year 37 years old. They just drafted Jordan Love. We didn't know how long he was going to last. You know, his efficiency kind of dipped last year, and then he has one of the best seasons of his career, 48 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, 70.7% completion, the highest of his career. He was out of his mind this year, and he's so calm when he does it too. You know, I saw something on Twitter, a guy saying, you know, the scary thing about Rodgers is he just has fun, you know? He does not care how scared you are, you know, he's going to beat you. And that's what he did this year. He was solid week in and week out. He elevates that offense so well. And, you know, we've known he has the arm talent and the athleticism and the off-script ability, but he turns it into a magic. He turns it into art. And it's so fun to see him playing this well this late in his career. But the real issue is what happens now with him, because they drafted Love. Rodgers is kind of kind of wishy-washy about his future. So we'll see. But the fact of the matter is he's still in his prime.
Well, and you know, this next guy had a strong consideration for MVP as well, and he's a running back, but he amassed over 2,000 yards rushing. He's hard to stop, and that is Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans. Mike Vrabel, they have a really good offensive system and scheme in place for Derrick Henry. Obviously, the second 2K rusher in Tennessee Titans history. What did you think of his season so far in 2020?
Yeah, they say running backs don't matter. That doesn't apply to Derrick Henry. That doesn't apply to him. He's just so big, so physical, and he's just a playmaker who just elevates his offense almost like a quarterback. You know, he gets the ball. He's so hard to take down on first contact. He can just throw guys with his stiff arm. So physical, but also explosive, has that explosiveness in open field. And we saw this year, he was dominant, you know, and he's the engine for that Titans offense. He still is, and he's still in his prime too. So he's one of those guys who's super scary. Just a guy who kind of keeps humming along. And he has a skill set that's very rare. You don't see it very often for his size to have that athleticism, to have that, you know, all-around capability. And he showed it this year. It's going to be weird to see how they perform with Arthur Smith now becoming the head coach of the Falcons. But Derrick Henry is a steady constant, and he'll probably just keep churning along. He's that good.
Well, we talk about running backs being important. Also, having wide receivers is great. We talked about Aaron Rodgers, but let's talk about his best friend. He's got the Rodgers rate. That is Davante Adams. He is next up on our list in terms of first-team All-Pro at the wide receiver position. Just his route running ability. I think we saw it in the playoffs. His ability to create separation. He is one of the best in the business.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, not just that, but you look at his athletic measurements. He had a 39, I think over 39-inch vertical in his combine. So this is an explosive athlete who combines detailed, precise nuance with his route running. And the result, as we saw, it's an explosive combination. He was Rodgers' favorite target, and for good reason. I mean, in the end zone, he was getting open all the time with that short area burst and that detail and that precision. I think he had over 1 touchdown per game this season, which is just an insane rate for wide receivers. And it all comes down to, you know, when you combine athleticism with detail and with precision, that's what you get. You get that explosive combination. And he's one of the best, if not the best receivers in the league. And he showed it this year.
And we're switching to the tight end position now on our first team All-Pro list here at Pro Football Network. And that's going to be Travis Kelce from the Kansas City Chiefs. He put up pretty historic numbers for the organization, 1,400 plus yards receiving. I mean, he's just one of those guys that Patrick Mahomes goes to when you need him on first down, third down, or even fourth down. He's always finding ways to get open. He understands how to sit against zone coverages. He's just one of those guys that, you know, you really have to account for. And it's hard because they have all those weapons. What were your thoughts on Kelce's historic season?
Yeah, it's very interesting because in an offense that's so friendly to wide receivers, Kelce is the guy that gets all the attention. And this year, he broke the NFL record history for receiving yards by a tight end in a season. That's because, you know, he has that detail. He can get open, but he's also so good at the catch point too. He has the size, he has the body control. He can dive for passes that Mahomes makes, because Mahomes, a lot of his passes, he tries to throw where only the receiver can get it. And a lot of times, sometimes as the receiver, you're also going to have to do some work to get there. And Kelce is very good at doing that, laying out, extending for passes. He turns it into an art, and he makes it just kind of the expectation for him. Not a lot of tight ends can do that at the consistent level that he's done it. And this year, he hit a historic high, as you said.
If you guys would like to check out the rest of the first team and second team offensive selections here, go to ProFootballNetwork.com. Check it out today. We want to know your thoughts as well. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button on Pro Football Network here on YouTube.